Yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. This is Jim Rosati. Northside Notch with me is Tyler. Pirates lose 4-3. End of the game, possibly the worst sending home of a runner I may have ever seen. But how are we doing tonight?
I can't believe I have to stay awake to talk about this shithole team like 4 times a week. What does my life come to? I hate this baseball team. I hate them. I hate the entire organization. I hate the way they're run. I hate everything about them. That's how I'm feeling tonight.
Yeah. I mean, let's just kind of start with the end, right? So 4-2 going into the 9th inning. Pirates are down. They actually get to Josh Hader. He starts the inning off with a walk to get Diego Castillo on base. Swinski strikes out. Kevin Newman somehow bloops a single into right field. So now we've got first and third. O'Neal Cruz strikes out. Didn't really look great in his at bat against Hader. He didn't look great at the plate all day today. You're right. But Vogelback comes through after a pretty good plate appearance against a tough lefty. Vogelback comes through with a base hit. So Diego Castillo scores. And you're thinking, all right, we're in business, 1-run game. It's going to be first and third. We're going to have the top of the order up. Brian Hayes is going to be up. No. Instead, Mike Rabelo, the third base coach, decides to give Kevin Newman the old go home sign, right? And I mean, Tyler, when the catcher caught the ball at home
Kevin
plate,
Newman's not in the frame.
Kevin Newman is not in the picture. And he didn't enter the picture right away afterwards. It took a while for Kevin Newman to get into the frame where he was then tagged out. The dude was thrown out by 30 feet.
He could have turned around. At that point, he had enough time to turn around. He is not even if you
he would have been out though.
Shot,
you're still out.
I know, but if you look at the full shot, he is close to the third base. By far.
Oh, man. It was just I'm looking at this here. Let me see. Can we do this here? Let me do this. Share screen. I want you. Can you put this up? Nope. Chrome.
You think I
do it.
know what I'm doing?
How about the share Chrome tab? Here we go. Is that when you do it?
Yeah.
There we go. That's that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty wide frame. You can see the pitcher's mound from here. This is at least 25 feet that you're seeing down this line probably. And Kevin Newman is nowhere to be seen. So, oh man, just a terrible way to end the game. I mean, especially you had Brian Hayes on deck against the lefty. Man, it sucked.
Jim, aside from that, where do we even start about tonight? Because there's way too much going on with this team right now to boil it down to one shithead move when they got so many.
Well, I mean, do we want to start with something good or something bad?
Let's just get the good out of the way because I have nothing
right.
really good to say about them.
The good, Brian Reynolds continues to look pretty good.
Yeah.
3 for 4 tonight with a double. Really, since the start of June, he has looked like Brian Reynolds, like the Brian Reynolds you want to see. So I at this point, I would be pretty surprised if he's not the team's all-star representative. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, it could be Bednar, but like Reynolds is making a case now, like a legit case to be on the NL All-Star team and be the Pirates' lone representative. And then Diego Castillo, all he does is hit home runs, like
that's
2-run
it. That's
bomb.
literally it.
That was his only hit today. That's like literally all he can do. I think 8 out of his last 12 hits now are home runs, which is just an absolutely absurd thing to think.
And
8 out of his last 12. Yeah.
I'm still slightly intrigued by Diego. I definitely think he needs to go to AAA because he needs to get consistent at bats. But I'm still okay with him being in some sort of future plan. He's not going to be a starter, but
I mean, you have to be intrigued with the power.
Yeah,
I mean, just by itself, the power is interesting.
And all the underlying numbers show that he should hit better than he has. They've kind of fallen off, but he still should be able to hit close to a league average number and maybe not play a great defense, but he's a guy that I would like to have on the team and like to see a little bit more of. But right now, unfortunately, because this team's constructed by a bunch of words I can't say,
you can say
there's no spot for him.
We've got a little explicit logo on the side of our podcast. You're good to go.
We'll just call them dumbasses.
All right, there you go.
There's no spot for him right now because Josh VanMeter and Kevin Newman deserve to get at bats over, people that might be on the team next year.
No, I mean, it's a good point. I think I'd be fine with either or. Like, I'm not thinking that Diego Castillo is going to be like a huge part of this team's future. Like, I'm fine with him getting 3 starts a week up here. Like, I don't know. He's actually bringing something to the team. He's only bringing one thing to it, but it is a thing that this team does desperately need. So I'm good with him staying up here, even if it means him not, getting every day at bats. So I'm fine with either way, though.
The problem is that he should be getting every day at bats because there aren't enough people on this team that deserve every day at bats. Instead, they keep throwing us Kevin Newman and Josh VanMeter every freaking day and Yoshi Tsutsugo. And instead, we got to watch anybody under the age of 25 sit on the bench because Ben Sherrington decided he's going to build a team and rebuild them, and we're in year freaking 3, and all he's got to show for it is Jack Sawinski. He's an embarrassment right now. I'm getting really frustrated with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun. Like, it's not fun watching bad baseball and bad baseball players.
No, and we're at the point of the year. I said before the year, middle of June, this team should start to become watchable. And I tweeted this earlier. I'm just repeating myself. They've taken a step back. We're back at the point where there's no light at the end of the tunnel. We're back to shoving these quad A players down our throats. Mm-hmm. And Sherrington's back to speaking out both sides of his mouth. Nobody wants to see Kevin Newman play anymore. We know what he is. Everyone knows Yoshi sucks. He can't defend. He can't hit. Everybody on earth knows Josh VanMeter is terrible. Everybody knows all these guys suck. But instead, we're stuck watching them because we're in the middle of July and they still got to shove them down our damn throat. Sorry for the loudness.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, let's talk about Yoshi Tsutsugo for one. Like, we went a month or so without having to see him, and honestly, it was the best month of the year. Now that he's back, it's like, why are we doing this? He's worthless. He's absolutely worthless.
Terrible at everything.
He's a slap hitter who has no power. He is, I mean, just think of it this way. He has 2 home runs. One of them was against Yadier Molina. So it's like he's 1 home run on the year against an actual pitcher. And you're batting this dude 4th.
I think, how many home runs does he have this year?
He has 2.
Yeah, so, yeah, okay. Half of his home runs are against a position player. He's terrible. He can't pick a baseball. He can't play first base. Why is he here? You have like 4 guys that can play first base on this roster and can't really do anything else. Chavis is like halfway. He can do some other things, but he's also your best first baseman.
Yes.
So maybe we don't make O'Neal Cruz throw to a freaking scarecrow. And maybe we put the guy that hits slightly below league average at first base rather than the guy that sucks at everything because we paid him $4 million this year.
I am with you 100%. And so, like, I don't know how much longer they're going to make us watch Yoshi Tsutsugo. A lot of people, I see this on Twitter all the time too. And this is just, I was in a bad mood today on Twitter in case no one, caught that. But, the people who are saying like, we just need to last until the trade deadline when, all these guys can go away. Like, who in the world is trading for Yoshi Tsutsugo and Kevin Newman? Nobody's doing it. Why? Like, do you not realize Kevin Newman was the worst hitter in baseball last year? Like, I'm not talking about like he was really bad and that's just a form of speech, right? That's not hyperbole. Like, he was the worst hitter in Major League Baseball last year. Like, no one is going to want that. Every single team in Major League Baseball has a weak hitting middle infielder who has a good glove. Like, those exist everywhere. They're everywhere. No one's trading for
They've
Kevin
got
Newman.
like 6 on their team.
Yeah. No one's trading for Yoshi Tsutsugo. No one's probably like Ben Gamble. I could see a team being like, yeah, we'll take him, but like no one's giving you anything for Ben Gamble. Like, so like all these people where they're just like, oh, well, you just got to wait till these guys get moved at the deadline. The only guy who's getting moved at the deadline is probably Jose Quintana and maybe Ben Gamble.
And the problem is that Quintana at this point is probably the one guy that shouldn't be moved because they're not going to get a damn thing for him. We're going to go back to getting a lottery ticket that ain't worth a shit. And we're going to have to suffer through a month of Roansy Contreras being on a pitch limit because this team, once again, is inept at everything they do. And they speak out of both sides of their mouths, and they're so freaking frustrating. This might be the most angry I've been at them in a long time. But everything is just...
You're real angry. You're more angry than I am.
Everything is just slightly, like, it's build up and build up and build up. Mainly because like, I came into this year thinking, at this time, we're going to start seeing something. Like, they probably won't win games, but I did not, in my wildest dreams, expect that we would have to watch a lineup of Yoshi, Josh VanMeter, Kevin Newman, and whatever the hell else they've thrown out there this year.
Whoever the catcher is.
Actually, he played better than Michael Perez. He should probably start every day.
He did throw a runner out. Yeah.
I think he threw 2 out.
He threw 1 out today.
Did he only throw 1 out? He threw out 1 yesterday then? I don't remember. Yeah. But anyhow, on no planet did I think I'd have to watch this lineup consistently with O'Neal freaking Cruz hitting 8th. I don't care if he's struggling. Don't hit him 8th. Your team sucks. This isn't 2015 where we're hitting Polanco eighth against the lefty because you're trying to compete. Hit him at the top of the order, and please, for the love of God, don't hit a bunch of shitholes in ahead of him.
Let's get back to the game.
There's no positivity from this team for me. I hate them.
So let's get back to the game for a second. How about we talk about JT Brubaker tonight? I think he had his ups and downs. It could have been way worse than it was. I think he did a really good job of kind of digging deep when he had to in the situations that were the biggest situations of the game and coming through in those. In particular, I want to say it was the second inning where he loaded the bases and then he got a strikeout of Yelich, and then he struck out Adames. So he ended up going 5 innings, gave up just the 3 runs. He did give up a lot of base runners, 5 hits, 5 walks, but struck out 6, allowed just the 3 runs, kept the team in the game. When he came out of the game, it was a 3-2 ball game. So I think this is, again, the walks were the main issue today for him. And if you're going to be be a good pitcher, you can't walk 5 people in a game, obviously. But I did think he did a good job of at least limiting the damage that he did have on there. Actually, it wasn't the second. The second he got out of it on a double play. It was the fourth inning. He loaded the bases and then got Yelich and Adames to strike out. But yeah, that was after a walk, a triple, a walk, and a single.
Yeah, so. He definitely danced through raindrops tonight. I mean, you can't walk 5 and 6 innings and expect to only give up. What do you give up? 3 runs in 5?
3. Yep, 3 through 5. Yep.
Yeah, but you look at JT's resume this year, it's been solid. He's definitely been a competent major leaguer, a guy that definitely deserves to be on a major league roster and not what we've talked about him being a bullpen guy. He's looked like a competent starter. Like I said, he danced through raindrops tonight, but last year I think it would have went a lot worse last year. But he's able to get the ground ball now. His command's a little bit better. He's not a guy you really build around, but he's at least an innings eater right now. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy that I'm okay having in the rotation for until he proves he really, really can't be.
You bring up a good point about the innings, because that was the issue really early on in the season is, the Pirates starters and probably this issue is now making the bullpen worse than it is, than it was in the beginning part of the year. But, being able to get deeper into ball games, no one was able to do that early on. JT Brubaker, this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is now 6 starts in a row where he goes at least 5, right? So that's kind of, again, what you're talking about. Like, if you're consistently able to at least go 5 innings and put solid performances together, solid, not necessarily, great, but solid performances together, like, yeah, the guy deserves to be a major leaguer. So
he's doing a really good. He's doing a good job of giving the team in games. Like with a competent lineup, if they had a competent lineup, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have no complaints with how his season has gone. It's just one of those things where you got to cut down on the walks. That's like the step to being able to say, hey, this was a good start, as opposed to saying it was okay. Right. If he cuts out those walks, then you're looking at, he can probably go another inning and, he goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run, right. As opposed to 5 and 3. Moving on from Brubaker, we also saw Manny Banuelos for the first time.
Second
time. First time without.
You don't remember the first time?
Runs. Yeah. He did look a lot better tonight than he did in his first game against the Yankees. I still am not really like expecting much from him. I mean, he's kind of taken him a while to get to this point. He's 31. The stuff seems fine. The slider, when he puts it where he wants to, plays. It's just a matter of if he's not hitting his spots, he seems like a guy who's going to get hit hard.
Yeah, I'm not interested. We're talking about a guy that sure, he struck out today. He made it an inning. He gave up 2 base runners in an inning. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
that's 2 outings for 2+ base runnings in an inning. No, I don't care. Go away.
Yerry De Los Santos back from the IL as well, the COVID IL. He goes 2 innings today, gives up a run. But he's been a pretty solid option so far. I mean, he's pitched now 16 2/3 innings. ERA's in the low 3s, 3.07. I think I have a lot of faith in De Los Santos at this point. As far like I would be willing to say he's the second best reliever on the team at this point.
I was probably thinking third, but you could probably argue second.
Yeah, second or third.
I'd probably throw Will Crow in there, but
yeah,
he's a guy you probably really need to take that step forward because there is nothing in this bullpen.
Yeah, they really need him to perform well because, there's not a lot there. Dylan Peters is hopefully coming back soon, so that will hopefully help out a little bit.
And I don't even think we're talking about the future. We're just talking about to survive this season.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, hopefully not seeing any more position players pitching. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, if we can have competent relievers who can keep games within, 10 runs, then with
my anger tonight, imagine if I jumped on last night. Man. Or the night before, whatever night it was that we had to watch position players.
How about the speaking of position players, the Red Sox go to a position player today in the 9th inning, losing 11-5. Just punting the game, losing 11-5 in the 9th.
Yeah. MLB has to do something about this.
Oh.
Either just let them carry more relievers or just ban it.
No, I think the answer is to just ban it.
Probably. Because teams are just, the problem is you ban it, then teams are going to whine because we're coming off short seasons and blah, blah, blah.
But they already added a roster spot. These teams are carrying 14-man pitching staffs.
Didn't they get cut down?
Well, 13-man pitching staffs.
Yeah.
So there's 8 relief pitchers out there.
I know.
But yeah, that's pretty much it though. Andrew McCutchen had a good game, tore us up again. He seems to be just killing the ball against us so far.
I miss that fella.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for Brian Reynolds, but I miss him.
Well, he could have been signed this offseason. And
I'm going to be honest, even if secretly they did offer him a contract, I don't blame him for not coming to this shithole.
Oh, I don't either.
I would never, ever sign with this team.
Now, if they're paying me the most amount of money, then
but we all know that's never going to happen.
Right. So, yeah, but that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't want
to add there.
We'll save it for our next NS9, whatever we call it anymore. I don't actually know what our actual podcast name is.
NS9 Live.
No, that's this, isn't it?
No, this is NS9 Postgame.
Okay, yeah, NS9 Live, that one.
Yeah, NS9 Live on Thursdays.
Remember? Yeah,
when we don't have a game,
which is never because the Pirates play all.
Not lately. Yeah, we've been playing every day, but Nope. Well, that'll do it though. Again, Pirates drop 4-3 against the Brewers in Milwaukee. They go to 34-50. 34-50. It's a 3-game series this weekend. They play tomorrow afternoon, 4:10 Eastern. Zach Thompson back on the mound against Brandon Woodruff. So expect some strikeouts tomorrow would be my guess on the Pirates side. They struck out 8 times last game against Brandon Woodruff on Sunday. So back-to-back starts for Brandon Woodruff against the Pirates. Hopefully we do a little bit better this time.
Probably not.
But that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Pirates again lose 4-3. Game ends on just an unbelievably terrible send home. I'm Jim Rosati.
I'm Tyler. Tonight sucks.
Later, guys.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.